Tennessee with 6 straight wins against Florida. Can they make it 7 by going into Gainesville and getting another victory? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. It's the college basketball preview show brought to you by the California Almond Board as we bring in our college basketball columnist Gary Parrish to break this down. And Gary, both these teams 8-4 in the SEC, but in terms of tournament resumes, Tennessee has that marquee win over #1 Kansas. RPI is much higher than Florida. Strength of schedule is much higher. So just how important is this game for Florida to not get swept this season by the Vols?
Well, I don't think it's important to not get swept by the Vols particularly, but they need some more wins. I mean, the RPI right now is in the 50s. They lost some home games that they shouldn't have lost already. And, and the rest of the schedule is, really, really difficult. At Georgia, where Vanderbilt and Tennessee has already lost. Vanderbilt, obviously Vanderbilt's a quality top 20 team, and then at Kentucky, you're not winning that one either. So if you're going to get one of these, a quality win going forward, and we would choose those between Tennessee, Vandy, and Kentucky, this is probably the one you need to get. And so in that sense, it's a massive game for Florida. They don't need to take this loss.
Let's talk about specifics on the Gators here. Vernon Macklin's coming off a career-high 22 in the win at Ole Miss on Saturday that you saw on CBS. Alex Tyus had 18 points in the loss in Knoxville earlier this season. What do they have to get out of their front court night in, night out for them to be good?
Well, this is a team that, in Tennessee that struggles up front because they're just not big enough. The loss of Tyler Smith, though, may have helped chemistry. It took and I know he's sort of a hybrid power forward, but it took a power forward, an all-conference power forward out of that Tennessee lineup. This is where Florida can expose Tennessee a little bit. There were comments from J.P. Prince, Tennessee's guard, after Tennessee lost at Kentucky, where he basically said, listen, I can't make my guys taller. I can't make my teammates bigger. Florida needs to recognize that as well. Tennessee is going to put Wayne Chisholm in the middle. Kenny Hall will get some minutes. But outside of that, they're really playing with perimeter players, 4 perimeter players and a big. And so Florida, with Alex Tyus and Vernon Macklin, they need to take advantage of that, understand the advantage that they have in the front court, and try to use that to get this victory.
Combined on the season, averaging about 24 points a game and 14 rebounds. If they could do it together in the same game, it could be dangerous. What about for Tennessee, Gary? Bobby Mays is coming off a game in where defensively, yes, he had 16 points offensively, but defensively, he shut down Devin Downey to the point where it was his lowest SEC output of the season. He had 15 points still, but it was the lowest SEC output of the season. Bobby Mays against Irving Walker, against Kenny Boynton, is that the lockdown matchup you'd watch for?
Maybe. I mean, Bobby is an interesting guy. I've always liked him. He's a fun guy to be around. He's a fun guy to watch. But he has these games every so often. He really played well against Sharon Collins when Tennessee beat Kansas. But then he also can be a little bit all over the place. And so if I'm Bruce Pearl, I don't know that I want to go into a game sort of relying on Bobby Mays. But clearly, that's, because you're shorthanded up front or outmanned up front, it's important that your guards play well. And so that means Bobby Mays, J.P. Prince, Cameron Tatum, Melvin Goins, those guys need to play well, and hold their own at the very least against Boynton and Walker, because up front, like we talked about, Florida's got an advantage up there.
Yeah, well, Boynton and Walker had just 13 points combined in the last meeting, the one in Knoxville. Hobson hit the game winner to make it 61-60. Who wins this one in Gainesville?
I think Florida probably gets it. I mean, this is a Tennessee team that I was actually, I don't want to say surprised that they won in South Carolina, but I would not have been surprised had they lost. Trying to get 2 of those before you come back home and have to deal with Kentucky, I think, is pretty difficult. This is one where I could see Tennessee slipping up. And again, Florida's at home. They need this more than Tennessee does. Tennessee's practically a lock for the NCAA tournament. Now, barring some big-time collapse, Florida needs this. I think they'll probably get it at the, down there in Gainesville.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out Tuesday night. Gary Parrish, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, guys.
All right, folks, for more on this game, keep it right here with CBSSports.com. And don't forget the college basketball preview show brought to you by the California Almond Board. Become a pro snacker with a handful of California almonds this season. For Gary Parrish, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.